Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today, what I'm talking about, it's gonna be a relatively short video. I don't know how long. This is kind of like I don't want to say a mini rant, but basically, it's basically a little summary of what happened during the, well, not a summary, but basically there was a certain subject I want to talk about with the Summerfest. What was it, Summerfest Games? I'm searching it up right now. Summerfest 2022. And pretty much it was just a whole bunch of games being announced and more gameplay for games like Protocol or finally the release date for the TMNT Shredder's Revenge. I think that's what it's called. So certain games like that and also just more games to come, and it was actually pretty good. But there was one thing I really wanted to speak about. I really, really, really wanted to shine light on. And that was The Last of Us. So obviously, I think, who was it? Neil Druckmann. I think he came out, and basically everyone's like, "Woo, Neil Druckmann, whatever, whatever." And then basically, earlier this morning, actually, before the Summerfest even started, it wasn't rumored. Pretty much, they stated it was confirmed that Last of Us 1 was going to be remade. And it was kind of weird because it already has a remaster, so remake? Well, what do you mean? So he confirms that yes, it will be remade with the new engine they used for Last of Us 2. So it will have the mechanics of Last of Us 2, and it will also have the same graphics as Last of Us 2, pretty much. So, and this will be going on the PS5 and the PC, which is pretty cool because it's going on the PC, right? The thing that got me about this was necessarily that, well, you guessed it, necessarily that it's 70 fucking bucks. And I don't care what anyone says, there's literally already videos of what they showed with the side-by-side comparison. It's literally the same cutscenes, the same everything, but the only difference is that they're using a different engine. And yes, I know before anyone says anything, they're going to be using Last of Us 2 mechanics. But hey, get a little close. Closer. They use the same mechanics. Last of Us 2 doesn't really play much differently from Last of Us 1. If there's really one that's different, it's the fact that, yes, it is the fact that they can go prone. Other than that, that's really one of the only mechanics that's big. That's the difference. I'm sure there's little minor ones, but really, if we're being fucking realistic, that is necessarily the biggest change. And that was really it. And that was one of the problems with Last of Us 2. It felt like an old game. It feels like an old IP, like it's dated. Because it is technically from 2013. Naughty Dog has been using this same IP since about 2013, ever since they made Last of Us. And they continue to do it with games like Uncharted 3 and things like that, or beforehand. Whichever, or the point is they've been using the same IP ever since those years. And so now some people are actually praising this. They're just basically, oh, dude, I'm really excited. But at the end of the day, this, even if technically, yes, it's true, since it's using, implementing the Last of Us 2 mechanics and also using the new engine, this is a glorified remaster. It's a remaster with 2 extra steps, or as I say, with a few extra steps. That's literally all it is. But for some reason, some people are even defending this. You go on Twitter, you go on literally anything, people are literally defending this fucking game, literally just because at the end of the day, they like Last of Us. And a lot of people are Sony fans, and not only that, a lot of people are Naughty Dog fans, and they like to give Naughty Dog a lot of credit. Listen, Naughty Dog hasn't been good ever since they did The Last of Us. I'll give it to you. Uncharted 4 was cool, but at the end of the day, you already done 3 of them, and really, you should have ended it at 3. There's really no reason to do Uncharted 4. But again, they're kind of like Rockstar. They had no other IPs with nothing else to do. Or even if they do have other IPs, they don't use them and they don't make another one. They just simply go, hey, let's just make another one for, or let's make another game for this series because we don't know what else to do. And people are applauding it for it. Look what Rockstar just did. Rockstar single-handedly proves that they can't do anything else but GTA and fucking Red Dead. But check it out. They tried to do that trilogy, and it was dog shit, and they tried to sell it for 60, and of course it failed. Why? Because they're lazy. But the difference with that was people called it out. Simply because this is going to PS5 and PC, and it has that engine that Last of Us that Last of Us 2 has, and yes, I'll give it to you. Looks great. Looks amazing. I'd argue Last of Us 1 is perfect just the way it is because it looks the way it's supposed to look. Meaning, Ellie looks perfect the way she looks. With the new engine, they all look fucking older. Why would they look older in part 1? Or the same age when they're supposed to look older in part 2? So literally, that ruins it and making it look like this doesn't make any fucking sense. Why do they look almost the same age? Or literally the same age, or just as slightly older as in part 2 when they're supposed to be younger in part 1. It just doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense, yet people are defending this game. They're defending it, and literally, it costs $70, guys. And I give it to you. A lot of people tried to complain about the $10 upgrade after Sony, what they said after Horizon. But for some reason, with this, it's okay. $70 is okay with this, though. And that doesn't make any sense. Why is this okay, but why is this okay, but when GTA does whatever the fuck? I know that's kind of comparing apples to oranges, but it's kind of in the same fucking ballpark because they're both literally just doing the same thing. At the end of the day, Last of Us 2 came out 2 years ago, in like July 2020, somewhere around there, and this was never even rumored or anything like that until literally like maybe earlier this year or early this morning, or when it was released early this morning. At least with Capcom, they literally remake their games. With Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, even though Resident Evil 3 was pretty bad as a remake, that's a fucking remake because it's different. Not only does it look different, it plays different. They add new stuff or remove stuff. It's all fucking different with the same story. This is literally same thing. It's literally the same thing. Same cutscenes, same gameplay, same literally everything, except it's with a new engine. So this is literally just a glorified remaster, and people are really coming to defense, especially to the fact that it's $70. This is what's wrong with the gaming community, is that a lot of times we'll attack people who maybe deserve it or don't deserve it. But the thing about it, when it comes to finally stand up to a company, we bite our fucking tongues and we end up biting our tongues and literally buying whatever the fuck they sell us because, oh my god, they're so amazing. Listen, Naughty Dog isn't as big as they used to be. I'm not saying they're not big, but meaning they're not top players like they used to be. And a lot of people are starting to realize that they're not really pushing out any new stuff. And other than The Last of Us, they're not really doing anything. Uncharted is over. What else does Naughty Dog have? Yeah, other than Uncharted, that was pretty much. I mean, what's the point of doing another Jack? That all their franchises, a series, anything like that, it's over. So at the end of the day, they're not really doing anything. So at the end of the day, I mean, when you think about it, here's something that's my friend in the background. But anyway, literally, they're not doing anything new or anything like this. At the end of the day, this makes no sense. This is what's hurting the gaming community, and also, but it doesn't have to be that way. But also, anyone who contributes to it, gives them money for this laziness, you're part of the problem as well. And I'm not saying that as well. People can like what they like, but this isn't like a matter of opinion or anything like that. At the end of the day, this is the same game with just a different engine. And The Last of Us 2 mechanics, which again, wasn't many mechanics. It was literally 1 to 2. So it literally plays the same, has the same cutscenes, will have the same everything that the first one has, just it's on a different engine, and they're selling it as a fucking brand new game. And please spare me. This game, Last of Us Part 2 came out 2 years ago with no rumors, and now they finally announced it today, and it's coming out in 3 months. Are you really going to sit here and tell me they've been working on that the whole time, or they're going to do all of that in 3 months? Yeah, let's fucking not lie to ourselves. But that's just my opinion on it. It doesn't make any sense. That's what's killing the community, and we really gotta stand up to fucking companies like this, because when does that stop? What happens if a fucking PS6 comes out and they just decide, oh well, for I don't know, give me a game. Oh, for fucking Sekiro, we're remastering it, but it's the same fucking thing. They just updated the graphics to PS6. And they added maybe 1 to 2 things, and they sold it at fucking new price, like fucking $70. Would that really? That's the thing. If Once one is acceptable, another company will see it and will continue to do it. This is shady, bad business practice, and the fact that some people defend it just proves that how biased they are, how much they love Sony, how much they love Naughty Dog, how much of the fact that they're just oblivious to this, because at the end of the day, it is biasness, and simply they're just like, I can't wait to play this game. You can have an opinion. I'm talking strictly the business practice of this, and it's shady. I'm not saying the business world is all sunshines and rainbows. I know it's bad. I know it's evil, but we don't have to accept it. It's our choice to. But I mean, that's just my opinion. You can actually leave a comment below. Do you agree with me? Say why. Do you disagree with me? Say why. At the end of the day, it's all an opinion. And with something like this, the gaming community or the gaming industry can go one way and then go another way. I just hope it goes necessarily really the right way. That way companies don't take advantage, especially of other people, and especially of people who maybe don't do as much research like that. And at that point, you can say, yeah, it's their fault, but maybe they're barely getting into it, or maybe they're just casual. But again, but that's it for now. More videos are to come soon, so I appreciate you guys for listening to me, and yeah, take it easy.